wet being cold. On the 14th floor in a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the body fits, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 94 of Fired Up. I'll be honest, I've been dreading to do the show all day. It sucks we have to talk about this. Not because I don't like talking to you guys, because I do, but because now we have to relive the trauma of Super Bowl 57. I'm Mike Gilletto. Joining me as always, Chris Lucci and Dom Console. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, Mike, I'm feeling the same way, buddy.
I've been better.
Yeah, it's been
funny.
It's been a rough 24 hours.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I've been saying just all day. I didn't want to. I've had to talk about it all day, and I just don't want to talk about it anymore. But like you said, it's not about talking to you guys. It's just the harsh reality of what happened.
This one stings, and it's gonna sting for a while, I think. But before we did jump into it, I do have to tell everybody about our sponsor. Just because the Eagles defense, took the week off doesn't mean that we take a week off of our sponsor. I'm going to take a shot at the Eagles right off the hop there. But breaking news, Manscaped is now selling beard products. That's right. They've gone from waist to face to help you replace that bulky razor with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Manscaped help you get the golden rod of Greek god, and now they've created the best tool for you to turn heads with a clean, perfectly groomed, and conditioned beard. Finally tame your mane by going to manscaped.com using our code FIREDUP for 20% off plus free shipping. The kit is about to change your life. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit has made it easier than ever to craft your look. This kit will take your facial hair anywhere from Gandalf to totally bare. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut of fixing faces. First off, it is waterproof, cordless trimmer, has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. Yeah, you heard that. No more drawers full of 20 different guards. With 20 lengths, it's never been so easy to find your signature beard look. Plus, the trimmer has a titanium coated T-blade that is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Pro Kit is much more than a trimmer, though. It comes with 4 dermatologist tested formulations for your post trim care. It has the beard shampoo and conditioner. All your hair is different, and your beard hair is much more coarse and easier to damage. That's why the kit has shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your natural oils, promoting beard health. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil. The nutrient-infused oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath, while adding a little shimmer and shine to liven up the look. Cap it off with the Beard Balm, a pomade that shapes, styles, moisturizes, bringing that amazing scent of fresh eucalyptus, rosemary, and lavender essential oils. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code FIREDUP at manscaped.com. It's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com, and use our code FIREDUP. The Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit, the premier solution to face grooming. So go check out the things Manscaped has to offer. And obviously we're going to get into the game. Before I do that, I had one question for you guys. And this probably isn't even a fair question to ask. But before we get into the game, when you take a look back and you think about the 2022 Philadelphia Eagles, success or failure, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I think it's success.
Success, okay. I agree. As much as it hurts, I agree, success.
They played the only other team, in my opinion, maybe besides San Francisco, that really they were the other best team in the league. I always thought it was the Chiefs, Eagles, and then the Niners, or the Eagles, Chiefs, then the Niners. But I mean, there was nobody else close to these two, those 3 teams. So listen, it's they didn't lose to the Giants or a team that was very much inferior to them. Do I think the Eagles were a better team? Yes, but I mean, we're talking about a Hall of Fame top 5 coach of all time. We're talking about the best quarterback in the league. A top 5 tight end, a top 5 tight end of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this wasn't going to be a cakewalk. So I think it was a success. And obviously, after you guys give me your opinions, we'll get into it. But
the other reason why I think it's a success is because you found your quarterback of the future.
100%.
And you found your wide receivers. I mean, you knew what you had, Devontae Smith, but that dude really balled out.
Sure
he
did.
really, really did. And you also know exactly where you need to get better at in this offseason. There's no blinders to anything. Your secondary needs to get better. You need a better running back. That's just the answers.
Well, that's why I asked the question of success or failure. Because, when you look at it, you make the Super Bowl, you can't win it every year, right? Only one team can win the Super Bowl every year. But when you take a look at, the turnover that's probably going to happen on the defense, it's will they get back there next year or the year after? Because, there will be a lot of turnover.
right.
That's the only, thing that's, now is your opportunity, right? Make the most of the opportunity. And they failed the Super Bowl, but I think the season as a success, the season as a whole, I think was a success.
Also, too, to add to what Chris was saying, he also figured out that this guy can coach too.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
we saw it all year. Look at the Niners game versus this game. I mean, the adjustments, the in-week adjustments, the in-game adjustments. Unfortunately, and again, we'll get into the game because I have a little bit of a thing I want to talk about with the adjustments, but specifically in the Super Bowl. But I think we found a guy that is a good players coach. He's a good coach's coach. He'll get on his coordinators. He'll get on his players, but he's also the guy you can go talk to. So he's a young guy. I mean, I like you guys said, found the quarterback, and I think they found the coach, or we know we have the coach.
Right. But yeah, no, I agree. Again, I agree with success, but when you take a look at this 2017 team and how things kind of fell apart, you lose, Wentz falls off a cliff, Peterson only lasts a couple more years, you just never know what can happen.
Sure. Absolutely.
So that's kind of the thing that's it makes the loss tough.
It's going to be an interesting offseason because of how much turnover there's going to be.
Especially on the defensive side of the ball. And
yeah, absolutely.
Kelsey's still up in the air, and nobody knows kind of what he's doing.
I think
Yeah.
the thing that assured me yesterday that they will be back was Jalen Hurts' demeanor after the game.
Oh, totally. No, he has it. Whatever it is, he has it.
And it's different from what I've seen in the past when people have lost the Super Bowl where they're just walking around. His answer was, you either win or you learn.
Yep.
And we learned. We learned. So I think just that alone is what's gonna he's got the character and people are gonna want to come and play with him. I think that's what's gonna help.
We already saw that already last offseason.
Yeah, I think
and
defenders are gonna want to come here because they know that the offense will take them to where all they need to do is keep them in the game and the offense will take care of the rest.
Yeah, and Pat Mahomes even had some really nice, really great things to say about him. I don't know if either of you heard what he said.
Yeah.
So
Any doubters, he shut them up.
If there are any doubters, there shouldn't be any now. So the fact that that's coming from, a Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame quarterback,
he's a Hall of Famer.
Just what he is. That what was he, only 5-6 years into his career? We could already call him a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Peyton Manning said it last night. I think.
Yeah,
he said that he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I put him right up there. And we can kind of transition to the game a little bit. The weird part about this game is before the game, if you would have said Jalen Hurts throws for over 300, he rushes for 3 touchdowns and throws another one. Patrick Mahomes throws for less than 200 yards. Travis Kelce in the second half basically gets neutralized and shut down. And they score 35 points. And they lose the game, I would have said you're out of your fucking mind.
You'd be a millionaire.
Right. How all that happens and you still lose the game is crazy to me.
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna when I was kind of mentioning before. It's they got outcoached at halftime. They went in at halftime up 10, and Stefanski outcoached everybody on the Eagles side and just outcoached them. Listen, this defense did not play great in the first half. They held that team to 7 points. I mean, and then they give up 20. What was it? Or
24.
24. They give up 24 in the second half. I mean, or whatever it is. Yeah, 24 because they gave up. It was the defensive touchdown. But I mean, it was just just the lack of in-game adjustment, the lack of on the defensive side of the ball at least. Because listen, your offense put up points. It's I don't know when it's going to get easier. I really don't.
It's really tough. It looks bleak. Like today, I felt empty.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I woke up and I was like, it's a sunny day. It's a beautiful day today. It's a warm day in February, and I just want to go back to bed. I just want to crawl up back in bed and just go to sleep. It feels like a really bad breakup that you're just like for 5 minutes you're like you're happy and you're like, oh shit, like you could and then you just remember about it. I just remember it for like an hour.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I did not have that feeling today.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. I think like I rationalized last night on my way home from South Philly that what happened this year was a success in my mind.
Sure.
And I think like, I don't know, I feel like I had like played that whole like everybody's upset, so I'm going to be like the positive, optimistic one for the whole situation.
You know what really frustrated me was, and obviously the elephant in the room is the late penalty, the holding call on Bradbury. It's a fact that Jalen Hurts, I think, played his ass off. He played a phenomenal game aside from the fluky fumble. I think he played great, and he's played great all year. MVP candidate, we know that. I think I don't think the penalty cost him the game, but I think he deserved and got robbed of the opportunity to have a last 2-minute drive to try to tie or win the game.
Yeah, and I also think too, like I think what hurts the most is that listen, they were up that entire game, and like it was that last second, what was the last 7 minutes, 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. It's just, and obviously they came back, they tied, they went for two, and whatever. But it's just the fact that like they had it, and of course the Chiefs just come out of nowhere at the very end, and was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? Whatever. The refs dictated the game for them again. And listen, I think the Cincinnati penalty, it was a penalty in Cincinnati. He had almost 3 feet out of bounds when he's getting pushed. I'm not going to say like, oh, they get bailed out by the refs. It was a penalty. It's unfortunate it went that way for the Bengals, but I don't know, man. It's just you don't call that penalty all game, and then you wait for the last 2 minutes to call that. I don't know.
That's my biggest problem with it. Like, is it a penalty in some random week 4, Sunday afternoon game? Sure, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
I still might, to be honest with you.
It's close.
It's not.
But my problem is you were calling it a certain way for 98% of the game. Like you were letting them play all game, and that's the time you throw the flag.
How many defensive penalties were in the game? Can you look that up? Can we look that up?
I remember vividly, like just the Sue one. The hands to the face one. That's like literally the only penalty I remember.
Which was also a shitty call, but
yeah, that was
I think for the most part, other than the last, that holding call, I actually thought the refs let them play. That was like Mike, like you said, like it that's what hurt the most is that they let them play this whole game, and then it's a ticky-tack call.
I don't have offensive versus defensive penalties, but total the Chiefs took 3, the Eagles took 6. Total penalties. I don't know defense or offense, but
yeah.
This is where
I feel like there wasn't many defensive penalties in this game.
No, because it makes it even worse. Out of the 6 penalties, the Eagles took 2 or 3 of them would delay a game, like or 2 maybe. I think.
With this whole
definitely one.
With this whole no call, the way that I interpret the rules, and I'm not an official, is for it to be holding. You have to impede the receiver's route.
Yes.
And it didn't. He didn't impede the receiver's route. He didn't change Juju.
He doesn't impede his ability to move.
Yes. Yep. And then and I know holding and pass interference are two different, but like he was throwing it out of like to get rid of it. He wasn't throwing it to hit him in stride, Mahomes. It was more of a if it's not there in 2 seconds, just get rid of it sort of thing. So, and I know that doesn't make any sense, doesn't have anything to do with holding versus pass interference, but you just don't make that call in that moment because what it did, and even if they like it or they don't, it will always be what if Jalen Hurts got that ball.
Yep.
Like the Chiefs will always, they don't care they won the Super Bowl, but it'll always be tainted by what if they didn't make that call in that moment there.
And listen, too, like, I think the defense, Jonathan Gannon had to have a better game plan. I don't think that's why they lost the game either. Like they needed a better defensive game plan. The field was shit, but like you can argue that on both sides. I think we were just supposed to be so much better against them in the trenches, and we just weren't. Like,
yeah, how are they playing the Super Bowl in Arizona on an ice skating rink? What the fuck is going on? How
and they tried to fix it, and they tried to fix it at halftime.
Yeah, at halftime.
It's so bad how that happens. I don't. There's no excuse.
For both teams too. Like it's
sure, no, totally. That's not an excuse for them losing the game,
right?
But I just don't know how that happens in a game as big as the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick called it the worst field he's ever played on.
Yeah, I believe it.
And I think
he played against some shitty teams in college.
Yeah. I think my Lotta just came out and said something about how bad the field was too.
Yeah.
So,
and that's kind of the viewpoint almost, or the perception of the NFL right now. Like it's bad penalty late in the game, and the field's a mess. Like the Super Bowl just has a real black eye on the game.
It hurts us the most here.
Yeah,
we're the ones that have to suffer through it. And you know what killed us yet again? And if this dude is not fired today, Michael Clay needs to not have a job. He needs to be the first coordinator fired because special teams killed us yet again.
Yep.
Yet again, they can't fill the lanes and make a tackle on Kadarius Toney.
A terrible punt.
They
need a new punter.
Yeah,
but I mean, if it's a better punt, maybe you get better coverage. I don't know, but the coverage was bad, and nobody wanted to tackle. And like while he was running, it seemed like everybody gave up because he's just gonna get it anyway. Like,
yep,
it was bad.
That and it just felt like they felt depleted at that moment in the game. Like this is just another one.
Yeah, totally. Obviously, I mean. The defense was bad. They virtually got no pressure on Patrick Mahomes. The defensive line that was so great all season was invisible. 0 sacks, nothing. I think that's a big storyline. Like, you had to get to Mahomes. You had to get to him early. And it just never happened, ever.
What a great game plan by the Chiefs.
Totally.
To just be able to not get him. I mean, he got hit, that one run?
He got hit a few times, I think.
Yeah,
usually from him scrambling,
but he didn't get sacked.
There was,
no
sacks. I think Hassan Reddick. It was I thought it was a penalty on the Eagles. Bradbury grabbed Juju. I think it might have been the second quarter. Reddick
middle of the field.
Yeah, Reddick almost got there. Like he got a hand on Mahomes, but I think there were a few times they were real close and they just couldn't get there. But again, like it's the in-game adjustments. Like. You go into the third quarter at halftime and you're saying, all right, I have one of the best defensive lines of all time, record wise, like statistically, like these 4 guys aren't getting there. Like I got to do something.
Blitz.
Yeah.
Dial something up. He blitzed, I think, one time that entire game.
And it was a touchdown.
It was a touchdown to Sky Moore.
The reverse motion.
Yep.
That was the second one they did.
Yeah, that they just ran on the other side with Kadarius Toney.
Well, that's the thing that's incredibly frustrating about Gannon's defense is he doesn't blitz. He just sends the 4, and guys are still wide the fuck open. Just wide open.
Right. Soft zone.
It's soft zone. That's what it is. Yep.
Yep. They keep everything in front of you.
But they didn't do that all year.
I know.
And then they go to the Super Bowl and they do it.
Yep. That's what I didn't understand either. I didn't understand how all year they played like zone, but at least wasn't a soft zone. But
Yeah.
you go in the Super Bowl and you're leaving pockets all over the field.
Because
I wonder, is that like
my
I-
guess
I-
is because he's afraid of Patrick Mahomes. Like he's afraid to get beat by Patrick Mahomes.
But the thing is,
and maybe he trusts his 4 guys to get there, but at the same time, it's not working. So make the adjustment.
and I also have an issue with like it's okay to be scared of Patrick Mahomes, but I wasn't, and I'm still not scared of anybody on that offense except Kelsey. Like
Sure,
beat us with your, and I think Juju had a nice
second half.
like a good rack game. Like he
Yeah.
just caught a lot of passes, but like their receivers didn't do anything crazy.
I don't think the other dude, what's his name?
Scanlon didn't get a
Valdez.
catch.
Yeah, it didn't have a catch.
Yeah.
No, and they just exposed the zone.
I told you it was going to be the running backs, man.
Yep,
Sky
it was.
Moore.
You were right.
I mean, Tony
Pacheco.
was the receiver, but yeah, Pacheco.
Pacheco
I'm
ran
telling you,
hard. He ran
Yeah.
hard, and that was the other thing. Like they just beat you up and down the field within the tackles.
Yep.
Like
they went against the linebackers.
Yeah, every time he touched the ball, Pacheco, he was getting untouched until the second level.
It
Which
was
is crazy.
You were just
No, you're
waiting for. Forget the tackle for a loss. Like it was like they'd hand it off to Pacheco, and you're hoping for a 1 to 2 yard. They only have a 1 to 2 yard gain,
Yep.
and he just kept getting 6-7 yards, and it was just they couldn't stop it.
Yeah, and the Eagles, I mean, those were the 2 biggest strengths, the offensive line and the defensive line, and the
Right.
Chiefs outplayed them in both parts. Both.
I don't know if they outplayed them. I don't know if they outplayed our
Yeah.
offensive line. Listen, they got pressured 2-3 times where they had made them go to the left. I wouldn't put that totally on the offensive line either. On our offensive line, I think they definitely beat us on the defensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because I don't think they had any sacks, did they?
They-
One. Was it 2? I know the one hurt,
Was
but
it
Hurts
2?
was like scrambling and ran out of bounds a yard shy of the scrimmage. So, I mean, does that really count as a sack?
Does that
or
count
just
as a sack?
It does, technically.
We did that twice.
Well, then that's probably what
Yeah,
2 of them were, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And that's another thing. I mean, the Eagles did that 0 times against the Chiefs. They didn't have a single tackle for loss. Not a single negative play the Chiefs ran.
Yeah, they played real efficient. The Chiefs, they knew what they had and they just took advantage of it because they kept running those dig routes over and over and over again, and ultimately that was the one that got you. That dig route was the one that got you in the end on that holding call.
Yeah, and then guys just running open on the little fake motion. They ran the same exact play twice and fell for it both times.
That's just communication. Like, how does Slay not see? Like, why isn't he not looking in the backfield? He's looking at his player next to him. You should be watching that guy the entire time.
Bro, you see him in motion. Stay with him. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye
Yep.
on him. You see him go outside. Oh shit! Now let me go to him.
Whose bright idea was it to put Marcus Epps on Travis Kelce? Whose bright idea? I'd love to know.
The
'Cause,
future,
like-
the future coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
I was gonna say too, like I was gonna ask you guys a little bit earlier, like does this have to do anything with Vic Fangio coming in for 2 weeks? And
Well, he helped
like-
the offense.
oh, I thought he was defense.
He's the defensive coach. Apparently, he came in to help the offense exploit the Kansas
okay.
City's defense.
Interesting. Okay, never mind. I thought he was
Yeah.
coming in for defensive help.
Nope.
That tells you a lot.
My thing.
Well, if he was helping the defense, you need a refund.
Yes.
my whole thing would be,
Keep your receipts.
what did Jonathan Gannon like? What, as much as we just praised Nick Sirianni, and I think he's a great coach, right?
Sure.
But like, when you're a great coach, you have to keep both your coordinators in check. When do you go over to him and say, "Dude, the 4's not getting there. Send something,"
Yeah.
because you're in charge. You're in charge of the team. When do you go over there and say, "Yo, are you going to make any sort of adjustment?" Because we see that didn't happen.
I mean, maybe he sees, all right, the first quarter wasn't the greatest, but they held him to 7 points. So you go into halftime saying, keep doing what you're doing.
No,
I
but
mean,
when
I understand. Yeah, like when the
after
fourth quarter
halftime, every
comes,
time they
yeah,
touch the ball, they score.
yeah, I know. I
When you
understand.
say, "Dude, you got to send somebody else. You got to send 5. You got to send Gardner Johnson on a safety blitz. You got to do something."
Yeah.
Can't just continue to just allow them to just exploit you the entire game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, the entire second half.
It really did have feelings of 2017 because that game, the defense also didn't show up, and you were waiting all game for the one stop, and it finally happened late in the game with the Brandon Graham strip sack, and you were waiting for the Brandon Graham strip sack this year, and it just never happened, and the Chiefs offense just beat you.
It's so far. What did Mahomes throw for? Like
190, I think it was
180 something.
Yeah.
Okay.
190,
and you lose the game.
Yep.
Brady puts up over 500 and you win. It's crazy, like how that happens.
Yeah.
I have this cool stat. Well, not cool, but like this crazy fucking stat here. Patrick Mahomes after halftime, in order: completion, 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 touchdown, incomplete, completion, completion for a touchdown, completion, completion, completion.
How many was that in a row?
1, 2,
13?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The ninth one was a touchdown. Then it was incomplete. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so 14 of the last 15. Did I count that right?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, 14 of the last 15 passes.
that was on
On
Twitter.
the second, okay, that's
That was on
crazy.
Twitter. Somebody said, Jonathan Gannon, where art thou? So
Yeah. I just think bad game plan.
you want to hear something about Jalen Hurts too?
Sure.
When a team is up 30, well, I'm sorry, when a team scores 35 points and throws or scores 4 or more touchdowns as a quarterback, whether it's throwing or passing, 39-0. Now 39-1.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's sick.
What is it with our team not playing defense in Super Bowls? I mean, it's just you know what I mean. It's so bad.
The first time they trailed in a playoff game this year was, what was it, 6 minutes left?
7 minute mark, something like that.
7 minutes left, yeah,
give or take.
in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
That's what hurts the most. They
and-
had this
yeah.
game until 7 minutes left, and it just feels so cheap. The way
They,
the Chiefs
they
Chiefs
controlled
won.
the game. They controlled the entire game.
The
Well, not
entire game.
They
No,
controlled the
well,
first three
I'm saying
quarters.
up until that
They
point.
controlled the first 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like we were robbed, is what it
Yeah.
feels like. And especially, I hate to go
And
back
that's nothing
to-
against the Chiefs or their fans or anything. Like, I'm not
No.
trying to pick a bone with anybody.
I think
They won the game.
I think a lot of the Chiefs players are likable. Like I don't really
Yeah, of
hate
course.
anybody on the Chiefs.
No.
I don't hate Andy Reid. I still think he's the greatest coach in Eagles
Listen,
history. Like I don't hate anybody on the team. I respect it, but
Listen, as long as they're not playing the Eagles, I'd love to see him win more championships, Patrick Mahomes. But I don't know. It just feels more like the Eagles lost this game than the Chiefs won it.
I don't know that
I
I
agree
go
with
that.
you.
I don't know that I go that far
I would
because they saw something in the
They
Eagles
gave up-
defense. No, I know, but they
They had 7 points at halftime.
I know, but they still had to have a game plan to just have their way with the defense. Now the defense didn't play well, but
Dude, he
part
threw
of them
for
not playing
190
well.
yards.
I understand, but part of them not playing well is game planning. Like the Chiefs have something to do with that. And obviously the Jalen Hurts
They
fumble
trailed
hurt,
until
hurts.
7 minutes in the fourth
I
quarter,
I get
and then it was tied 35-35. It felt like the Eagles lost this game to me.
yeah, no, that's fair.
I know. I understand what you're saying. Their game plan worked for the most part. It just felt like
They got
Chiefs,
out-coached. They got out-coached.
Yeah, at halftime, from halftime.
Yep.
that fumble too. I don't know what was going on there.
It just he
It
slipped out of
happens.
his hand. It's a fluky
Yeah.
thing. Like I really
Yeah.
can't even shit on Hurts for it. Like I thought
You know
he
what,
played
too?
his balls off. I really do.
You know what? Too, that Devontae no catch
That was a catch.
could have set them up to score a touchdown. You never
I
know.
think it was close. I think it was
It may
very
not.
close.
I thought it was a catch, but
Very close.
regardless,
Yeah.
I think that one was
they
more
call
of
that a
catch than
catch,
Goddard's.
I
think
disagree.
That one
I think
really
I disagree with that too.
Goddard
I
was a
just-
stone
I think they
cold
were both catch. I thought they were both catch, but
I think
um,
I think they overturned the Devontae one because of what happened in San Francisco,
sure.
or not in San.
But-
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In Philly
But-
against San Francisco.
But if they catch that ball, they're on the 20, inside the 20, whatever it is. They could score. They wind up getting 3 on that drive.
you know what else is a big thing that people I haven't really seen all that much of people
Quez
talking about?
Watkins.
The Quez. We need a new third wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that Quez Watkins drop was fucking gigantic.
He had a catch earlier in the game. It was a screen, and I think I mentioned because Mike and I were together for the game. I was like, "Oh my god, Quez Watkins! We haven't seen him since week 8."
Yeah.
So
You know what else play really got me?
And he had a drop in week 8 against Washington.
Yeah. No. He had the catch
Or was it?
that he fumbled when he got up.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yep. You know what else
So he
got
didn't
me?
have. Well, yeah, he did. But go ahead. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. The third and 11 check down to Kenny Gainwell for 4 yards on. I think that was the time where they punted. That was the Aaron Sipas bad punt where they went right behind the sticks. He had all that time. The receivers were getting open. They were destroying their cornerbacks. They were destroying them.
Yeah. But I don't mean to you beat a dead horse with a fumble though. But what do you think of going right back to Hurts, right back to the quarterback sneak?
I love it.
Not the quarterback sneak, the quarterback draw. Literally the very next play.
Yeah, that shows that they weren't.
It's a big game too.
Hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. I think he gained 8 or 9, 10 yards, something like that.
And he scored on that drive too.
Yeah.
Whoever had Jalen Hurts 3 touchdowns on their bingo card, that made a lot of money this week.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I don't know what else we could say.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything that everything that happened in the game. I feel like it's beating a dead horse at this point. I could just keep pouncing on the fact that I think Hurts deserved the opportunity to try to win that football game, or at the very least tie it. And I think he was robbed of that opportunity.
In a minute 48, right?
Something, yeah.
Yeah, there was a minute 48, and they had
2 timeouts. 2 timeouts, I believe. Was it 1?
Yeah.
Was it 1?
I think it was 1 because they just had called a timeout the play before. They had to use one of the timeouts in the third quarter.
You might be right.
Gotcha.
The thing that it is just always going to be a tainted Super Bowl to me. It's always just going to feel like we were robbed.
Yeah.
Of that opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like making excuses. And the players have it, and I respect the players. The players are taking it a lot better, and I respect what they're doing as opposed to what the Niners are still crying.
Yeah.
They're not going that route. They're taking responsibility. They're owning up to it. I feel a little robbed, but I'm not ready to say that's the reason they lost the game. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
And kind of going back to a little bit of the conversation we were having earlier in the show, just going forward, going in the next season and stuff like that. I feel a lot more confident. Well, before the Phillies signed Trey Turner, I feel a lot more confident with the Eagles having this success to go back. Now, obviously, now that Trey Turner's a Philly,
changes things a little bit.
Yeah, of course. But I still, even with Turner, I still feel like the Eagles have a better shot of getting back there.
Mm-hmm.
But it just you had the opportunity now. I want it this year. I want it next year, and I want it the year after. To me, it didn't matter with I'm just not ready to have that conversation either. Thinking about next year, I'm just not ready to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could sit here and talk about the
I'm not ready to have
the
that
decisions in the
conversation.
off season and who they should
maybe
trade,
next week.
cut, sign, re-sign. I don't think that's a conversation to have yet. So
maybe in the next couple weeks, but
Yes.
not right now.
And that's my favorite time of the year, guys.
yeah, off season.
Off season,
Yep.
moves and all of that.
Yeah, I just
Hey,
don't know.
at least they got the 30th pick, right? Instead of 31st.
I
What do they have?
would've
10 and 30.
I would have
or
preferred
31?
the 31st.
Yeah, no, I
30.
know. I know.
What happened to the 32nd pick?
That was
Miami? Was that
Miami.
Miami's stripped pick?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm hearing people talk about well, we can always look to next year, and it's just I'm just not. I'm
not there yet. But this is we're
Do you
in a
ever
dark
get
time.
that? Do you ever get in that way where you're just I want to be miserable for a little bit?
Yeah.
Please,
We're
I just
grieving.
let me.
We're in the stages
exactly.
of grief.
Exactly.
We're literally grieving. Our team died yesterday.
Obviously this hurts a lot more than the Phillies do. The Phillies weren't supposed to be there. It was a fun ride. It hurt, but it just, like I said at the beginning of the show, the Eagles were one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league this year, and it just the way they lost just really, really hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's really all we can say at this point about it.
Yep.
It feels like you could put the Titanic music to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was bad. But look at the bright side. Pitchers and catchers report in 3 days. No, we don't have to. We don't have to get into the Phillies. But
I'd get in the Phillies. I don't give a shit.
nah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess. I mean, if there's nothing else to talk about the game, I could review our season end of Against the Spread.
Yes.
Okay, you want to do that? Legit has zero plans of discussing the loss today. Just need to soak in the sadness and move forward. Pretty much it. Like, I'm just gonna be sad for like probably the next week or two, and then
So okay, so I don't know if
be a little better.
I don't know if you got. So Shay and I worked together, and like
Okay.
I walked. We didn't talk about it for like an hour. Like legit. Like we were just like, nah, man. Like it's just until somebody came up to us because we work next to each other. But like until somebody came up to us and like said something, like we turned around to each other and we just started talking about it, and it was like we both said to each other like I wasn't gonna talk about it. Me either. Like it was just we were just gonna wait a while before like and then of course people know us as the sports people, and people have to come up and start saying stuff. So it's like
leave me alone. I'm not ready to talk about this yet.
Yeah. Nope.
I'm not ready. When I'm ready, we'll talk.
Yep.
It literally feels like a breakup. Or
I have people apologizing to me today. Like
sorry for your loss.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about that game. I'm like, it is what it is. You can't really. It's a game. In the inside, I'm like,
isn't it crazy that a sports team does this to us? It's not. We're the just insane ones.
Yeah, we're the only city that. Well, I'm sure there's others. But
yeah, I don't want to. I mean,
we're one of the only cities where this would. I guarantee you, the crime rate in the city was like through the roof today. People were probably getting arrested left and right.
2018, there were no murders on the day of the parade.
Yep, I guarantee
zero murders in Philadelphia. Just like Jay-Z says, murder capital from the murder capital where we murder for capital. So that's Philly now.
So basically, the only way we keep the crime rate down is the teams just got to keep winning. Yeah. Teams just got to keep winning and we'll be good. But I mean, that is the thing though. Like it's been a rough 3-4 months, right? Obviously the Phillies go there. They lose again, a little different, kind of playing with house money a little bit. The Union, who cares about the Union? I really don't care.
But still, it counts.
I really don't care about the Union.
Yeah, I know, but
the Union
the
can
people who
lose
do
every
care for
single
the
game
Union
every year, and I won't care.
Yeah, and a lot of people I was talking, they felt like the Union were like I talked to a couple of people today. Yeah. They felt like the Union were robbed of a championship too.
What? Shay's a big Union guy too, and he was saying it's a lot like the Eagles. It's a lot like the Eagles in the sense that they were the 1 seed, and it was just kind of fell apart a little bit. But
did they lose in penalty kicks or something? Or no?
Yeah,
I think they did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it's such a dumb way to end the championship.
Sure is.
But that's 3 championships lost in 99 days.
99, is that what it is?
Yep. We I'm not gonna say we love the heartbreak, but like it's just like we soak in it.
Yeah. We got the Sixers.
Shay says Union were more relevant than the Phillies until they reached the playoffs. Face orange, biting nails.
I will say the Union are more. I wouldn't say it about the Phillies. I would definitely say it about the Flyers, though.
What about the Flyers?
That the Union were more relevant this year than the Flyers in the last 2 years.
Oh, probably. Like the Flyers have almost fell to the fifth spot in this city.
Yeah. Right.
So, all right. We can do our against the spread pick. So, the Super Bowl. Obviously, we did against the 5 picks and then the 20 things from the prop sheet. So on the Super Bowl week, I went 14-11. Dom went 12-13, and Chris 9-16. So here are our season totals. We have a tie. So kind of shitty. There's no winner. There's a two-way tie. So me and Dom finished the season 57-72, and Chris finished 55-74.
Wow.
So there you go.
Damn prop picks.
The prop picks fucked you.
Because I think I was. No, I only got Hurts went over for the passing yards, and AJ Brown went over for the receiving yards. So I know I did. I know it went over, and the Eagles didn't cover. So
Yeah, you went. What'd you go? 2-3 on the 2-3 on the picks, and then 7-13 on the props.
Jesus.
Yeah. So.
Dom, how do you like the Rihanna halftime show?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It wasn't the best. It was,
Shay says rock, paper, scissors
Fine.
for the winner.
We got to do something legit.
No, I know. We'll figure something out.
We'll wait for the USFL or whatever fucking stupid league that is that's playing in the spring. The one where they can rip each other's heads off.
USFL, you're right.
Yeah. They probably sign shit. They probably sign shit like before, like sign this if you're not going to sue us, basically.
Yeah, and they all play in the one stadium. They're called the Philadelphia.
No,
Stars.
well, I was going to say I think they're actually playing in 2 stadiums this year.
Yeah,
Really.
Doesn't make any sense. Why would you?
4 of them are playing in Alabama, and 4 of them are playing in Detroit or wherever it is.
Why are you the Philadelphia Stars? And you're playing you're not playing in the city.
Right. It's. I wonder why. Just a money thing, I guess. They just don't generate enough, I guess,
Yeah, probably.
to do all the travel and everything. You know.
Yeah, but you would think they'd be able to if they said all right, we're gonna let you guys have the Union Stadium. You're not gonna be able to play in the Link, but you could play in the Union Stadium.
Yeah.
You would think they'd be able to sell that out.
Yeah, but then you're paying for travel. You're paying to rent. You rent the facilities, hotels. I'm sure it gets a lot.
Yeah, true.
And it's USFL. How much money could they be generating? Is that the one that's backed by The Rock, or is that the XFL?
That's the XFL.
I think
That's the
it's
XFL. Okay. Is that still a thing?
I think that comes back next year, right?
It is coming back next year, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
That should be interesting.
Yep.
What are we just going to go back and forth every year?
Oh, this is the exit. Oh, they folded. Time for the USFL. They folded.
Right.
One of them was doing
I'm
okay.
saying.
Was it the XFL before COVID, and that kind of shut them down and ruined them? Was it the XFL that I think they had a pretty good first year, and then COVID shut everything down?
Yeah, the one where the dude threw a pick six on the goal line, and they went up to him. How did that feel? Great. It felt great. They would do these sideline interviews.
Live
I forget
interview.
who it was.
Yep.
Was it
I think it was
the No. I think it was Cordell Jones.
Was it?
It was somebody like that.
I mean, listen,
yeah.
there's a couple nice stories because you get the PJ Walkers of the world. He wouldn't have an NFL job if it wasn't for the XFL or USFL or wherever the fuck
Sure.
he played in.
But I'm just saying, the guy goes out there, throws a pick six on the goal line, and they walk up to him with a microphone in his face on the sideline, hey, how do you feel? I
was their
feel just
thing,
wonderful.
Yeah, that was the thing. Accent. As soon as the player's off the field, he's
I
gasping
hated
for air.
Yeah.
It was good.
He's the oxygen tank. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about right now? I mean, I don't. We're all sad.
Phillies.
We're
I like the
grieving.
I'm excited for the Phillies. I'm excited for baseball, honestly.
Yep. Pitchers
I mean,
catchers report Thursday,
that is what's getting me through this is Trey Turner, like the Phillies.
I agree. But then you got to
baseball,
think this team's not going to look like what it's supposed to look like until Harper
for a
comes
while.
back.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think they could compete with Turner.
Totally.
I think they can compete. I think if Castellanos comes back the way maybe not he was 2 years ago, because we've had this conversation. He's not that guy usually.
Shay
But even
says
if he's half of that,
Shay says Union home opener in less than 2 weeks. Shay, I don't care about the Union. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you.
I think February 28th they play.
Okay.
no, it's March. I think.
Is it March?
Yeah, I think it's March. I thought it was March. I thought he said March 11th.
He
'Cause
just
asked me to
said
go,
he just
but I
said 2
couldn't make
weeks.
it.
March 11th is
Yeah.
longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's.
It sure
February
is.
28th.
Oh, okay. Maybe okay. All right, never mind. Maybe that's just the game he wanted me to go to. I think that was. But I thought it was the opener.
February 25th.
I've actually been to a Union game. It's the coldest game I've ever been to. It was with Shay. It was the coldest game I've ever been to. This was 5-6 years ago. Nothing. I've been to Eagles games. I've been to Phillies games in April. Mike, you and I went and sat in the freezing cold rain at the Flyers Penguins Stadium Series game. This wasn't even close.
Really?
Yeah. But But again, the Phillies. Going back to the Phillies. I think they can compete. I think that it'll be you know, obviously like you said, we're not going to get Harper. I have a suspicious feeling that that he's going to come back sooner than we can. I think they're just telling us longer to.
It didn't look like he had a brace on when he was at the Super Bowl.
Did you see he gave somebody a shoe
I did
at the airport?
No.
Yo, apparently this kid came up and was like, "Yo, can I get an autograph?" And nobody had a marker, so he's like, "I got a pen." So Harper like took off his shoe, signed the shoe, gave it to the kid, and walked. His wife, go look at her story. I don't know if it's still up, but like she took a video of him walking with one shoe through the airport.
That's funny. I'd have to look this up.
See, Mike wouldn't like that because he's playing.
No, he wouldn't because he hates Harper.
No, I I don't hate Harper.
He likes the Union more than he likes Harper and Sirianni. It's crazy.
That's not true. No, I like
loves the Union compared to those guys.
I love Harper and Nick Sirianni's growing on me. Also we didn't talk about this at all. The now the meme or the GIF of Sirianni crying, bawling his eyes out at
National Anthem.
Yeah, I thought that was a little
The
funny.
tweets were great today.
He's legit walking with
Just
with one shoe. Yeah, that's funny. He listen. He gets it. He really does. So, back to the Phillies. Did you see this? I forget who did it, but this proposal about if when the MLB expands and the new the redesign.
I saw some of that stuff.
Did you see this, Chris?
Yeah, I saw that they would have the Yankees, Mets, Phillies, and Red Sox together.
That sounds like so much fun. I'm all.
It does, but I like the Red Sox are kind of like my AL team, so I would hate that. Like, not would say they're my AL team. I just really like the Red Sox. I like going to Boston and stuff.
Sure,
so
no, absolutely.
It would suck ass to hate them. I'm gonna have to hate them.
Sure, I just love and I'm so fascinated by the Yankees Red Sox rivalry, and to be a part of that in the middle of it, I think would be so much fun. Because like
the Phillies Mets rivalry.
Sure, that too, and like you think about that the AL East, and you think about the Orioles and the Blue Jays, like they don't really care all that much. Like they're not hardcore passionate fan bases. But if you put two hardcore passionate fan bases like the Phillies and Mets and throw them in a division with other two hardcore fan bases in the Red Sox Yankees, it would be pure chaos. It'd be fun. I'm all for it.
Well, because I think it's Nashville and
Charlotte, I believe was the other
Charlotte.
One. I believe
if Nashville gets
Charlotte.
a team, you lose Dombrowski.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's in his contract. I think if he basically
I remember
said to the Phillies, he said to the Phillies, I won't leave for any team unless Nashville decides to start a team.
And they will at some point.
Why would it
it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Team.
What was that?
Vegas.
Yeah, they could be another one. Well,
I think they're waiting for the A's.
Yeah,
they're waiting for the A's. They're waiting for the A's.
It's
going to eventually happen.
Probably. Yeah. Well, they still need a
that poor city, Oakland.
They're losing everything. They're losing all their teams.
That's what happens when you get a city that doesn't, I wouldn't say city that doesn't care about you, but politicians that just don't care about sports.
Not only that, but there's so many teams in California.
It's true.
Like there's oversaturation of teams in California.
But imagine sitting here and like say we lose like a Philly team, like the Phillies, right? They're gonna sit here and say, well, all right, well, it's kind of similar. Like you can't just say, all right, well, root for the Bay team, like root for the Giants. Like it's like sitting here saying, all right, go root for the Mets or go root for the Pirates. Like,
sure.
You don't just do that. Like,
no,
you know what I mean?
You still stick with the team. Like Oakland Raiders fans still root for the Raiders. You just
but dude, like them. Oakland is like such. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying like Oakland, like it's a very poor city. So like those people aren't going to see.
Absolutely
aren't traveling to Vegas to go see the Raiders. I mean,
obviously
you have the Warriors.
Same with St. Louis Rams to LA Rams. Like it's, I mean, that's a far trip for people to to go out and see the team that they grew up watching. You know what I mean?
I mean they did it right with the Warriors. The Warriors, obviously they represent San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, like that whole area.
That Golden State area,
Yeah.
That's like the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Just
right.
Who's your fan base? The entire Northeast.
Well, it makes sense, dude. I mean, like that you make more money that way.
Yeah, you do.
So I don't know. I think the A's go to Vegas. I think Nashville will get a team. I'm trying to think if there are any other city, like big cities that that should have a team.
Montreal. Give them a team
bringing back the Expos.
I think Tampa has a better shot of moving back
to Montreal
than getting a team, like a new team.
Yeah.
Because like there were talks like they were gonna split. They were gonna do half in Montreal and half in Tampa,
which is very
I think is stupid.
It's
it's stupid. I'm just trying to think of like major cities aside from Vegas.
Portland.
I mean, I guess, but like they only have basketball, right?
Yeah.
Like I think eventually Seattle gets a team again, like the for basketball. Like it's
I agree.
It just makes money. Like I don't understand why these, I mean, I guess the owners just in any sport just don't want to just say, hey, like let's just bring teams in. But I'm trying to think of baseball cities.
Yeah, there really isn't. Nashville's the big one to me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be Nashville. Nashville's definitely going to get a team.
But I think Charlotte was the other one that I saw.
Yeah, I think it is Charlotte. But I'm just trying to think. Like, is there no cities bigger than Charlotte that, like, I don't know, like, somewhere in Connecticut? Like, I don't. Just trying to think of that area.
These are the
Buffalo, maybe
San Antonio.
Buffalo.
These are the top 25.
Oh, Buffalo, yeah.
The top 25 cities: New York, L.A., Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philly, San Antonio.
How far is that? How far is that from Arlington?
What's up?
How far is that from Arlington, though?
I don't know.
Well, are you talking about in the sense of that should get a team?
He's just looking at top 5 populated cities.
Okay.
San Diego, Dallas, San Jose, Austin, Texas, Jacksonville, Columbus, Ohio, Charlotte.
The thing with Columbus is you have Cincinnati and Cleveland already.
Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, Indianapolis.
Okay, that's interesting.
The Indianapolis is an interesting one.
San Fran, Seattle, Denver, Nashville, Washington D.C., Oklahoma City.
Okay, Oklahoma City is interesting.
I think just have a basketball though. Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Boston, Portland, Vegas.
Okay.
And then Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I thought maybe Jacksonville. Maybe
the problem with that is they already struggle with 2 teams in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
They have trouble selling tickets down there. As
Yeah.
it is. So. Do you guys have anything?
Where was
Phillies or no?
Where was San Antonio on that list?
San Antonio was number 7.
5? 7?
7.
I mean, again, they only have a basketball team, and that is close.
How far from Arlington?
How many Texas? Yeah.
There's a ton of Texas places on here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I think Oklahoma City, and I think what was the other one?
Indianapolis.
Buffalo. I think Buffalo and Indianapolis. I think those 2 are pretty interesting. But I don't think they do Buffalo either, so I don't know.
You don't think they would?
Nah.
No, because in April it's still snowing.
That's a good point.
I mean, they could do a retractable dome.
Yeah. That's what they're doing with the new stadium in Buffalo, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to be domes.
Which I think is stupid.
I know.
Football.
Yeah. Well, they're going to try and take all the elements out of it. So
I think baseball, every fucking stadium should be a retractable dome, in my opinion. Fuck rain delays. No more rain delays. But you should be able to keep it open in the cold if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, got anything else to talk about with the Phillies or no?
Not really.
I don't think so. Just getting excited.
Yep. Pitchers and catchers report. When's our first spring training game?
It's usually about 2 weeks after.
Also, Arlington from San Antonio is a 4-hour drive, but San Antonio to Houston is about a 2.5-hour drive. So that's probably a little too close to those teams.
Yeah, my Uber driver in Boston last time I went he was saying like people come to Boston and like expect to go to a Patriots game, and they find out it's like an hour away,
Right.
like
Yeah,
Foxborough,
Foxborough,
and they're
yeah.
like he's like I picked them up, and like they're like, oh, it's an hour away. He's like, yeah. They're like, oh, I didn't know that. And like,
Let's plan this whole vacation about going to Boston
Right.
and not do the research of how far it's going to take you to get to the
Right.
fucking stadium.
right.
Makes a lot of sense. All right, well,
Look
if we
it
have
up
nothing-
when the spring training starts.
Okay, I was going to change topics. I'll wait for you. When does it start?
Well, okay. I think it's the 24th of February,
February. Okay.
which
It's
is
quicker than
about
I
2
thought.
weeks.
Right.
Less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
So
Quicker
I
than
mean,
thought.
well, I guess technically, the 24th, like the Red Sox play like a Korean team maybe or a Japanese team, and then Saturday the 25th everybody starts.
Okay.
You remember
So
when the
there's 3
Phillies-
games on Friday.
Remember when the Phillies played University of Tampa and lost?
Yeah.
Ruben Amaro Jr.'s son was playing for them.
Yep. All right. I want to switch gears a little
Yeah.
bit. Sixers trade deadline. Thibault for Jalen McDaniels. What do you got, Dom? Chris?
It seems like it's a better. It seems like he's a better version of Thibault, maybe just a little bit better of a
younger
shooter. Yeah. Oh, they're probably about the same age, honestly.
I think he's 24.
How old's Thibault?
I think he's like 26.
No way.
I think so. I'll check.
Thibault is
Hey, we should-
25. He turns 26 March 4th.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought he was like 24, 23.
Thibault's 25
Thibault.
turns 26 in a couple weeks.
McDaniels is okay, I guess. I mean, averages coming here averaging 10 points in 27 minutes isn't great.
And McDaniels turned 25 in January. So it's about a year difference.
Yeah. Listen, averages 27 minutes, 10 points coming into Philly, like averaging 10 points. It's not great. I mean, he's an okay 3-point shooter. I think below average. But he plays good defense, lots of steals. I think he's in the top 30 in steals, which is not bad. I mean, it's he averages like 1.2, I think, steals per game. The leader's like 1.7. So he's up there in steals. Plays good perimeter defense. He just seems like a better version of Thibault. Could probably hit a little bit more threes than Thibault, but other than that, I mean, he's nothing to get too excited about. I don't think.
Yeah.
Watch, he put up 30 tonight.
And they signed Dwayne Dedman too.
Yeah, it's just they didn't make any moves, and Morey said like, listen, we're gonna be buyers in the buyout market, and then they buy out they sign Dwayne Dedman. Yeah, I don't know. If John Wall gets bought out, I'd probably be interested, but
I would definitely be interested in John Wall.
yeah,
I
Nerlens
did
Noel, I
Green-
would have preferred.
Did Daniel Green get bought out?
No, I don't think so.
McDaniel had 8 points tonight.
Okay,
5 rebounds, 3
How many-
assists.
how many minutes?
Assists?
28 minutes.
Yeah, it's no.
How many assists?
I'm
Mike?
sorry, what'd you say?
How many assists?
3.
And 5 rebounds?
I didn't watch the game tonight,
5
so
rebounds, yeah.
I can't really. They blew out Houston, but
Yeah.
if you're averaging 28 minutes and you put up 8, I mean, listen, it's hard to get a bucket here with Harden, Maxey, and Embiid.
0 steals, 0 blocks.
Yeah,
How many did Embiid, Maxey, and Harden have?
somebody had 29. I saw
I don't have that in front of me.
Embiid had 23. What did you ask?
How many did the top 3 have?
Embiid had 23, 6 and 4. Harden had 28, 2 and 10, and Maxey had 26, 5 and 6.
Okay, so they put up almost 70 points.
Yep.
The 3 of them.
Yep. Tobias had 11. PJ Tucker.
He's
has
re-
0.
I
Is there
have-
anybody who's more worthless than PJ Tucker?
I
Anybody?
I mean, I got a few people, but I'm not gonna name names. That, all right, never mind.
No, I'm kidding. Now I'm curious what you're gonna say.
No.
No, I mean now you got to say it.
What was I
more
gonna say?
worthless-
No,
who's
no,
more
no.
worthless than PJ Tucker?
No. You don't know them anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
But-
okay, I see.
Yeah, it was just a little thought in my head, but
Okay.
I lost track. I lost track.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I mean,
But I was gonna say about Tobias Harris. As much as I defended this guy, man, it's just. I've said for so long, if he's your fourth best scorer, you're in a good spot, and he's at this point their fourth best scorer. And listen, they're what, the 2 seed, the 1 seed, whatever they are. I mean, I'm just waiting for him to stink it up in the playoffs.
I mean,
Come on, Dom.
we could always lose a third, or a fourth championship in the C, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're due for one. We're due for a winner. So
We do.
I don't know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, listen, it's our fault if we're expecting the Sixers to do that because they gotta get past the second round.
Well, you
In
know
order for it
what?
to
We
happen.
definitely won't be seeing the Flyers in there. So
Definitely not. No, Flyers definitely not making the playoffs. So they won't let us down because they already have been doing that for the last 10 years, or really last 20 years. But whatever. I don't know.
2010.
Yeah,
From
but they
from like
lost.
90 from like 95 to like 2012. I mean,
They were very competitive. They were competitive.
yeah, they were
but they never
always in
won.
it.
They never won anything.
Sure.
Still let us down
they
when
were-
it
but they-
mattered.
Yeah, but it's not like it is right now.
Oh no, it's I don't even know what word I would use to
Exactly.
describe them right now. I really
Exactly.
don't.
That's my
Like,
point.
Apathy. I think I really don't know what word to describe the Flyers right now. They're just stuck in the mud, just turning the tires.
They're like the Charlotte Hornets, where like they're just not good enough, but they're just never going to be bad enough.
right. Yeah.
They're like
just
the
a bubble
2006er, like the late 2000s, early 2010 Sixers. They're just an 8 seed that like they're just
just
never
there.
going to be. They might not even be that, but
They're
like,
not-
like
yeah, they're
they're
not even
just
that.
right. But they're going to be relevant enough to like try to compete for a playoff spot, but like just not going to like totally tank. So like
Yep.
it's just this was the year, man. It was the year to just lose.
Especially with a guy like Connor Bedard.
That's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
was the year.
I know. It sucks. But I'll go somewhere
And
like
I'm not-
Columbus and
Yeah.
be in the division.
Rot
something
away.
like that. Yeah.
And I'm not somebody sitting here that's like pro tank or like I want to see my teams compete. I do. But you gotta save this franchise, man. Somehow.
They need top end talent. And like tanking to tear down completely to the studs, I think can be very dangerous because I think it establishes a losing culture. The Sixers are still trying to get out of a losing culture, in my opinion, because they just can't get past the second round. They've just
We've talked about it.
before.
I
Yeah,
disagree
sure.
with that, but
How long does it take the Edmonton Oilers to get out of it? Like the Buffalo Sabres are just finally starting to get out of it. Like I think when you build a losing culture, I think it takes a while to get out of it. So completely stripping it down to the studs, I think can be dangerous. But when you don't have enough talent, and
being stuck in purgatory sucks too, though.
it does suck. But when you don't have any talent, that's the time where you take a step back. You look at the big picture. You see Connor Bedard, this generational talent coming out of the draft. You don't go and hire a guy like John Tortorella who will make you play far better than your expectation.
Yep.
I love John Tortorella, but that's the reality of it. I think the timing of hiring him sucked.
And they really, 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 they're at a point where like if they're picking low to mid, like what are they at right now?
I think they'd have right around the 12th pick, give or take.
Okay, so 12, 13, you're around that spot where it's like the Golden State Warriors, like they had the
Yep.
6th pick and got Curry, and they got lucky. Not lucky, but I don't think anybody saw.
No, you're
Yeah,
right.
they
Once
just
we
need
get out
to
of
do
their
something
top
like that.
5 picks, especially I feel like hockey and basketball.
They'd have the 10th pick.
I mean, hockey, you could find like Giroux was
20,
a 23rd pick,
something, 24.
whatever,
something like
whatever.
that,
Yeah, 25, something like that. You can find gems. It's
Sure.
just you just have to know how to find gems.
And you
like
have
Cal
to be able.
McCart.
What
What was Cal McCart? 5th overall?
Four or five, something like
5?
that.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, you have to do the scouting well enough, obviously, to know what player you're drafting. And once
And
you
be a little
draft them,
lucky.
you have to develop them.
Yeah.
Which this team
That's the
really
biggest
hasn't
issue.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like how many teams, like the Sean Couturiers, the Joel Farabees, you know, just the guys, the Travis Sanheims, the Ivan Provorovs, they reach a certain spot and they don't progress. They just plateau. Yeah, exactly. That's their biggest issue.
Right, because it was like during the Hextall era, it was like all these guys he's drafting, like we get pretty excited about, and then it's just like you said, they just plateau.
Dude, around the league, you would talk to like draft people and prospect people, and a lot of like sites rank the Flyers as the best prospect pool in all of hockey. And we really have nothing to show for it, except like, I mean,
Nope.
Travis Konecny's having a really good season, but like you don't have any superstars. You just have a lot of decent to good players. And I don't even know if I'd use the word a lot. You have some decent to good players.
Like Scott Lawton's a nice fourth liner
Sure. Yeah.
on a good team.
Even third line. Like he can be useful. I think
Right.
he's a bottom six player. But on this team, he's like a top line guy.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, right. Same with Kevin Hayes. I think Kevin Hayes is a perfect third line center. He's the number one center of this team. He's not even really playing center. He's more playing wing. But yep. You guys got anything else? Or are we ready to get out of here? I'm not gonna lie. It's good to take some time to grieve. Take the next week to collect our thoughts, regroup, get back next week.
Yeah, I mean, in a few weeks we're gonna start talking about the draft, and
Which is when? April what? What's the date of that draft?
it's usually the last weekend in April, like the 25th, 26th, 27th, something like that, 28th. We're gonna start talking about the draft. We're gonna start, in the next couple weeks we'll start talking
April
about
27th.
Okay. We're going to start talking about additions, subtractions, who to sign, who we, all that stuff, who we believe all that stuff is, but just not this week.
No, not this week. And now that, football's over and baseball's not going to be starting for another month plus, at least the games that matter. We got to come up with some different topics, some fun things to talk about. Maybe do another Jeopardy or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll figure out some stuff. So, all right, you guys
Sounds
ready to get
good.
out of here?
Yep.
All right. Everybody check us out. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, firedupsports.com. Check us out. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're getting out of here. We will see everybody next Monday.